Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another fine edition of an OTRSCentral themed Q&A. This one got a lot of response on Twitter in a big hurry.
It was almost legendary.
You know, they attacked it like a group of Marines might.
They kind of wanted us to go 12 rounds.
We're going to stop right there. But we can tell you this. There was such a response to this, so many questions. We're going to be able to answer most of them, but in order to do that, we're going to have to do two separate John Cena Q&As.
Not three, because only one guy gets three.
That's God. Kind of sad, though, that CM Punk only had enough to fill up one, and John Cena got enough for two. Just throwing it out there.
Cena's the top guy. He gets a reaction one way or the other.
Apparently, as we found out. So let's get started with part one here. Our first question comes from our main man, Anthony Ward. This is a young man that you should be checking out on YouTube and you should be subscribing to because the Schleg Daddy fucking said so, and I'll stand firm on that. Let's describe this young man really quickly. He has a tremendous amount of courage.
Definitely.
He has big ones.
Really big ones.
Yes.
Especially in this community.
Yes, absolutely. And also has very good wrestling insights and makes reviews.
That are short. They're not 20 minutes.
But his thoughts, like I said, are very good. Somebody you should check out. I recommend it.
And he has a good question.
He does have a very good question. And that's why we actually watch him. Let's feature that. All right, he wants to know, he's the only one that's really getting a full-on answer to a feud question. How would you book a John Cena versus Hulk Hogan feud? Frankly, I would do it babyface versus babyface. Timeline I'd be looking at probably would have been around WrestleMania 25, which was a rumored time that it was potentially thought to happen anyways. I would be selling it to Hogan as a chance to main event one last WrestleMania. And this would be another one of those generation versus generation things. And ironically enough, this would be a match where the guys stylistically matched even more so than Rock versus Hogan. I would be pitching it to Cena as a chance to main event WrestleMania against the Mr. WrestleMania, the real Mr. WrestleMania Hulk Hogan. Talking about generation versus generation, I'd want Cena in that big spot because I'd want him to learn from Hogan how to work a big-time match, how to embrace the moment, how to slow down in the ring. And it might not have been, it wouldn't have been a match that I'd be worried about it being the most artistic thing ever, but it could potentially tell a hell of a story. And I want to keep it babyface versus babyface. I'd probably have Hogan issue the challenge, because I'd want Hogan to play it as if he's saying, I have one last big match. You're the future of this business, and I want you to get in that ring with me. I want to measure myself against you, and you can measure yourself against the ultimate measuring stick. And then you'd have Cena probably go over and win, and then Hogan put him over like $1 million. Now, your question would be probably what? Would Hogan do it?
Yeah, would Hogan do it?
Chance to main event WrestleMania, 7-figure payday, easy. Yeah, the Hulkster loves money above all else. He's not stupid. He's going to take that big payday. Great question, Anthony. At Peter Jacobs 93 and at Base 24 had the same basic question. Have you guys ever liked John Cena?
Contractually, for a while, I had to like John Cena. I've never been like a huge John Cena fan, but I understand his role with the company and the fact that he gets reaction and blah, blah, blah. But no, I've never really liked John Cena. Like, I'm not like, I love John Cena.
Thugonomics rapping Cena, I absolutely loved. I looked at him at that time, I said, this fucker's great. He's good on the mic. He's got a unique way of carrying himself. His packaging is unique. I said, I thought this guy was going to go straight to the top. I didn't expect it to be the way that it was done. But at that time, back in 2003, 2004 even, big John Cena fan, no question about it. At Peter Jacobs 93 had a couple of more questions. If Cena did turn heel, do you reckon the guys would chant "Let's go Cena" and the kids would chant "Cena sucks"?
Not initially, but yeah, you'd get there. And I think some of the kids would still cheer for Cena because they just don't know what's going on.
Who the hell knows? I mean, who knows? That's a good question, actually. Is John Cena to Mark what Jeff Jarrett is to the Schleg Daddy, what Christian is to Mr. Rout, and what RVD is to Tony?
I think so.
Probably. And who is Metal D's most hated? beyond question, beyond a shadow of a doubt, no matter what he says, the wrestler that he hates more than anybody in the entire world. He wouldn't piss on this guy if he was on fire. It's the fifth member of the Four Horsemen, Tully Blanchard.
Oh, he hates that guy.
His favorite wrestler of all time has become Mark Henry.
Yes.
He says Ric Flair, who he likes the big man match.
Yeah, he loves the big man match.
Because he likes big men. All right,
Yes, he
at
does.
Paramore Fan 82, what is your favorite John Cena match? My favorite John Cena match might very well be his first one against Kurt Angle on SmackDown in June 2002. What's the moment, Mike, that John Cena, WWE, they pissed you off the most?
The moment that really pissed me off with John Cena. There isn't just one moment. It's just his whole like gimmick just kind of pisses me off. The whole I'm a good guy, doop to do. I'm gonna be Jim Carrey, doop to do.
The Nexus storyline,
Oh,
where he was fired, yet he was on TV still every fucking week, and by the next month, all was well with the world again. That whole involvement of Cena with the Nexus, it got to the point of fucking stupid. And
I've got another one. The whole filler between when The Rock issued the challenge to when he actually faced The Rock, that whole year was just a waste. It should have been John Cena training, not involved in pointless feuds that lasted for like a month.
how about the draft where they drafted him to SmackDown
Oh,
just
God.
to draft him back to Raw? How about winning the belt from Rey Mysterio on that Raw? There's plenty. So, yeah, let's not go too much into that. We don't intend to just bury him here on this. At Lally_Maven, hope I said that right. Do you think the prototype would have worked in WWE? I think in some ways, yes, because I thought the original packaging of Ryback was going to kind of be as that robotic cyborg type of character. I think the prototype would have worked.
Yeah.
I think it would have. Yeah, Javier Artabo. Was John Cena a selfish piece of crap for agreeing about taking the WWE title from Rey Mysterio the same night he won it?
Who's to say how much say Cena had in it? I mean, Ray can say he had the belt at least.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I think all of us get focused. I know we're guilty of it too. Get focused too much on the backstage shit. We should maybe be looking at it more from a standpoint of does it make for good TV or not. I will say did it make good TV or not? No, it made for fucking stupid TV. I argue you could have made Ray versus John Cena at SummerSlam a main event match that would have drawn some money. So I think it was stupid TV. Did he agree to it? Did he not agree to it? I don't think at that point in time in 2011, WWE knew what the fuck they were doing because they didn't know where they were going to go with the CM Punk storyline because they didn't plan it out. So
Nope.
I'm not going to blame him for that one. At Ev Griff 74, Mr. Griff, he's asked, if you could see John Cena against either Hulk Hogan or Ric Flair in their primes, who would you choose?
Oh, Hulk Hogan.
Hogan. Yes. Some of you might argue that Flair might get the better wrestling match out of him, and that may be the case, but I think him and Hogan would tell the better story. At Blue Goblin 01, whose cock does John Cena suck on more, God's or Vince's?
I think, to be fair, that Vince sucks on Cena's a little bit. It used to be the other way around. But then John Cena's like, know your role, Vince.
And then John sucks on God's cock to keep his current position.
Oh, of course. But I mean, like,
Whatever.
Cena's in a car accident. Vince is the first person he calls. Yeah, I'm okay. That's
I think you're right on that, frankly. I think you're on to something there. At Daniel T. Sewell, what was your favorite Cena match of the Ruthless Aggression era and his funniest moment of that time? Ruthless Aggression era, probably his match against Taker on pay-per-view in 2003. Funniest moment as the rapper. His feud against the Big Show, when Big Show fucking battle rapped him, was fucking awesome. Or when Angle battle rapped him, that shit was fucking awesome too. That made for great TV. At Connor the Divine, would John Cena be a bigger star now if they had turned him heel when he was really hated in 2006?
they would have turned him back to face by now. I don't know. I don't know if he'd necessarily be a bigger star.
Because in order for him to be a bigger star, they would have to do a better job of building up other stars. The company would have to be a better overall position.
To make your top guy look stronger, he needs to have better competition around him.
Yes, I agree. And the packaging needs to be better. The marketing needs to be better. So hard to say. Was he really more hated in 2006 than he is now?
No, he was.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So,
At least in 2006, you had other guys to watch on the show and root for.
yeah, I mean, I feel bad for Cena at times because I think he knows deep down that his character, frankly, sucks. And he knows that he's more talented than what he's allowed to show. And I even see it sometimes when I watch him on TV. I'm like, this is a guy who's being asked to be a character actor when he doesn't want to be that.
Right, you can tell that he's holding back sometimes, and that he wants to let something else out.
And you could tell that it seems like, at least the way I perceive things is that he knows he could do more, he knows he could do better, but he's not allowed to. And I blame the WWE for that. It's just kind of sad, really.
It's a guy that got stuck in a role when all the other big names left.
And now, unfortunately for him, he's kind of stuck in that role where he could be the top guy and do different stuff, and it would be a lot better. At Stephen Toth 18, simple question: why the fuck is Cena, out of everyone the WWE has, the top guy?
Like I just said, all the big names, or all the guys that could have been the big names, they're gone.
Well, let's put it this way: Edge is gone, Batista's gone,
HBK is gone.
Triple H is gone in a full-time role. The last guy that they were building up to be that franchise piece was Brock Lesnar, and once he left, they were looking for a guy to be that top guy that they could lean on, that they knew wasn't going to go anywhere else. And that's where Cena filled the role. He was a talented individual.
He was a company man.
Yeah. And he loved the business, and he wasn't going to sit there and leave them high and dry with all the millions of dollars they invested in him like a Brock Lesnar did, or to a lesser degree, guys like Austin The Rock did. So that's kind of why he is the top guy. He's a top guy by default, by talent, by situation, by several things. He kind of had to be. At Aaron Nancy, what other character's persona do you think Cena could pull off if he was repackaged?
There's a lot. I think that Cena has it in him to pull off a lot of different roles. It's just that he's been stuck in this one role for so long that everybody's like... It's like when you're on a TV show for years. You don't get cast as other things because people still remember you as that. So...
Mark Hamill.
Yeah. He's Luke Skywalker.
Wasn't he in American Graffiti too?
Does anybody care?
Exactly. That's the
That
point.
was Harrison Ford, by the way.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it? My apologies.
Harrison Ford broke the mold, though. He's able to be Indiana Jones, Han Solo, whatever he wants.
Absolutely. Ryback. R-Truth.
Mark Henry?
I don't know about that.
You couldn't see Cena going out there and pushing guys over and being like, that's what I do.
Hey, you know what? Fuck it. Why not? I'm not scared of you. You don't frighten me. I'm going to pay for that remark.
You better feed him when we're done.
Yeah, I know. At Sir_Trevington, if Taker is at WrestleMania 30, do you think he should wrestle John Cena?
Fuck yes.
It's the 800-pound gorilla in the room.
If it doesn't happen this year, it's probably never going to happen. I'm sorry.
Should have happened by now. Needs to happen next year. Maybe they'll do Taker versus Lesnar next year, which has its own intrigue, its own story to it. Would be a monster match, but the monster of monster matches would be Taker and Cena. I guess some of it depends on whether Austin will work Mania next year with Punk, because then you could argue maybe he would, justify having Taker wrestle Cena, or maybe you could say no, we don't want to do that because we don't want to take away from Austin.
Right.
At Firehawk0331, if John Cena never became the top guy, who would be today?
It's a good question.
By default, Randy Orton.
Yeah. That's a scary thought.
Just chew on that. The franchise piece of the WWE, if there was no John Cena, could potentially be Randall Keith Orton. Just chew on that. Although that would mean baby oil for everyone.
It's true.
Everybody would have to find a gopher hole. Or would that just be his game?
Well, there'd be somebody in the ring that everybody'd find him anyways.
Worst case scenario, be thankful that Orton's not the top guy. Be thankful Cena's the top guy. Because if Orton's the top guy, you'd be seeing a whole hell of a lot more of the Blue Borton. I'll get out there. So thanks to all of you that submitted your questions for part 1 of this Cena Q&A. The next video that'll be up on this channel will be part 2 of this Cena Q&A with some more good questions. See you guys.